everybody. Welcome. He's still here. I'd make him a logo, but I'm sure he's already trademarked. I have been running around like a chicken with her head cut off. I don't know if some of you have ever seen a chicken with its head cut off. Not a pretty picture. I'm a farm girl. You gotta forgive me. Last time we left off with connecting with the world. I decided to wait on that because it might get a little involved. But I don't want this to be all seriousness. So I just want to show you something I'm starting on. It's going to be, I'm going to do a 60s theme one of these days, just for the fun of it. So you guys can kind of pick out what you want to do for your 60s theme. If you don't know about the 60s, look it up. The 1960s. Flower Power. The Mamas and the Papas. That was a rock group, by the way. And all kinds of fun things. And then I went into the 70s, and it's still pretty much the Flower Power, but just a little more benign. Anyway. So this is going to be my 60s headband. Because it's this variegated yarn, so it'll be a little bit psychedelic. Psychedelic was a big word. So we'll be back in just a moment and start this whole thing. Beating on my table. Have you ever noticed that? If it didn't make so much noise, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't have any reason to. Buster and Rosie haven't had their day yet this week because Buster, I did the patch inside, but I didn't glue. I needed to glue it down on the outside so that it doesn't still pull apart even though that it's covered. So, because that's what knit does. Once it unravels, it unravels. So I glued him today. And he's sitting back here drying out. He's still got white stuff there. I'm hoping with all this knit that it will glue down because sometimes that stuff is not real cooperative. Internet. That's going to be one of the world connections that we have. It's not that the internet is a bad thing. It's not. It's what people do with it that makes it, that is causing problems. And that's one reason why YouTube is going through all these changes, is because of, one thing I don't understand and I don't agree with them on is that anything made for children specifically cannot earn any money. That just kind of discourages a lot of people from doing some educational stuff that's really great for kids. But I don't know. But there are places, Twitter, I go to Twitter. Generally I go there to promote. And Facebook, I use that a lot for both. I have a page for Fralins and Friends. I have one for my GK Fralin, which is my books. And I don't go there to the main page too terribly often, other than to check birthdays or maybe talk with somebody that I know, because I have a tendency to spout. I'll read something, it'll make me mad, and I'll spout. It's easier to get mad on the internet. That's the problem. Because you're not face to face with anybody. You don't have to worry about it so much. So that's a lot of the problem with the cyberbullying too. And it's getting bad, but be warned. Because one young woman was just convicted of murdered because she encouraged, she kind of focused in on a young man who was having some problems and continually kind of, she built the relationship, and then she started in with, the whole suicide thing, and whether it was a pact or not, I don't know, but she kind of kept nagging him, and, oh, you just are too scared, this kind of thing. The boy ended up committing suicide, and she went to court, and she was charged with murder, and she got a conviction. So that is a be warned about being, saying really nasty stuff to people and targeting people online. It's just not good. We all know that cyberbullying is bad, and I'm glad they're starting to do something about it. The internet's been kind of a way to skirt around laws on a lot of things because it's so international. But it is a good thing because you can promote good stuff. I'm on the internet right now. And I am glad that Facebook has cleaned up a lot of stuff, because there's a lot of words that are they can no longer use. And there's certain kinds of videos that they can no longer publish on Facebook. Or not Facebook, on YouTube. And that I'm not unhappy about, because, well, let's just say some of them were taking it way too far. Unfortunately, there are those who are good, who have been bit bad by trying to figure out the algorithm and the content thing. Off topic. Just know that, there's always going to be changes. There's always going to be changes on the internet, hopefully for good, but sometimes the shuffle gets a little hard, even on the good people. If there's any young kids out there listening, don't get hooked up on those dating sites. There was a young woman here in Nebraska. She was murdered on I don't know which site it was, but anyway, she got on a dating site and set up a date. The family, wanted her to take caution, but I guess they met in a not so public place, and he disappeared and she disappeared. They finally found her dead, and they found him who knows where. But they did find him, and he's in jail now, as far as I know. But they found him. He may still be waiting trial, I'm not sure. So, I would say, do be careful and treat the internet like your life and somebody else's life depends on it. That's the way I would go. The news, we know the news is all true. Everybody's telling the news exactly how it should be told. I am being sarcastic. There are news magazines now, and editorials are all the way through instead of just an editorial at the end of the actual news. But I have met people from all over the world because of the internet, and I have talked to writers from all over the world and people with other interests through YouTube, and just I've been able to see other parts of the world through, instead of just travel sites, I've been able to see through, their videos, what they see and what they do. And it's, to me, that's cool. I like that. But we do need that connection. Just don't cut out your personal connections. Don't use the internet or long distance things where you just don't know somebody personally as to build relationships that you can depend on. Watch very carefully or you'll miss his movements. And right now, this is a great stress reliever. Oh, right in my ear. It's a great stress reliever though. You don't see much of this anymore. This has got big ones. My face green. I didn't want it to be too serious tonight, but I want to get the point across. I think I did. Wow. The other night, I heard a big boom outside. I don't know if someone had an accident. It was like when if you're close to the railroad, we used to live close to the railroad. But if they're hooking cars together and it makes that big boom, or if a shotgun goes off, you know, that kind of thing. And it just, I don't know what it was, never did figure it out. I don't know why I threw that in there, I just thought it was a point of interest. So, but yeah, I'm doing things in here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to splitting up my week. Because it gives me a chance to regain and not lose the momentum. Because I can lose momentum pretty easily. Especially if I take, you know, a whole thing off. So, there for a while, you see, it's addictive. There for a long time, I was uploading on, let's see, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I wouldn't no. I was 3 and 2 that I uploaded. And I'll figure those out and I'll get you that. But it worked better for me when I was doing that because it would give me a mental rest for one thing. And of course, I'm always going to have times when I don't feel so well. Like yesterday, I had a terrible headache and lights just were not kind to me. And I have to have light and kind of bright light in order to do these things. But I hope you enjoyed my little chat about the internet. Like I said, it's not a bad place. It's not a bad thing if you use it correctly. And I know you guys, I'm sure do. But just, you know, like I said, consider the person on the other end as you. Yeah. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Not do unto others before they do unto you. That is not the way it works. So I will see you tomorrow. You guys have a nice evening. And I'm going to too. I'm going to rest. I did. I had a busy day. Stripped the bed. Cleaned some of this out. Did this. Did that. Good night.